Hello and welcome to Friday's programme. I'm John T. Messer.
And I'm Kylie Pentelow. Coming up tonight between now and 6:30. Good evening. A lorry has crashed into the side of a house in North Cornwall, demolishing a large part of it. Police and fire...
No one was seriously hurt in the incident, but the family who live in the house will have their plans for Christmas disrupted by the damage. Grace Pascoe has this report. Now, for people heading off for Christmas getaways, today is the busiest day of the year for travel. Traffic is heavier than usual on roads right across the West Country, and rail routes are expected to carry more passengers as well.
Well, it was an especially busy day for Exeter Airport as 3 planes carrying 500 people were diverted there from Bristol after a plane came off the runway, causing major delays. And over the Christmas break, Exeter Airport is expecting more than 20,000 people and has put on extra services to cope with that demand. Bob Cruz sent this report.
A very busy time for travellers, but not everyone is taking time off this Christmas. There are, of course, many essential services that need to be maintained over the festive season.
And a team of volunteers will be on call throughout the next few days to keep a motorbike blood courier service running throughout the West Country.
The group is called the Freewheelers, and one of the volunteers is Jerry Holmes. He's in Staple Grove near Taunton Forest this evening. Jerry, thanks for talking to us. Christmas could be a very busy time for you then, couldn't it?
Good evening.
Then you could be in the middle of your Christmas lunch and you're called out. What are you actually doing?
Will you
thing is the.
Will you still be able to celebrate Christmas? You'll just have to have your phone a bit closer to hand, I would guess.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now you're watching ITV News here in the West Country. Plenty more still to come on tonight's programme before 6:30, including...
And the weather for Christmas Day, well, it looks a lot like this. Breezy, mild, with rain moving in later in the day. I'll have all the details for you in just a few minutes.
Now, there are only a couple of days until Christmas Day, and in a moment we will be hearing a Christmas message from the Dean of Truro Cathedral.
But first, we've been out on the streets of Newton Abbot to find out what Christmas means to you.
Well, Christmas is, of course, a time when many of us visit our local churches for services and to sing carols. And for Truro Cathedral, it is the busiest time of the year. And tonight we hear from the Dean of the Cathedral as he shares his Christmas message.
Well, he began by telling our reporter, Kathy Wardle, why he believes the cathedral is still as relevant today as it always has been. Dean of Truro Cathedral there. Now, the ITV News continues with the national and the international stories at 6:30. Ranveer Singh has the details.
Well, next on this evening's programme, it's time to look ahead to the weekend sport. And for most of our local rugby and football sides, they'll have matches this weekend. There are, of course, games on Boxing Day as well, which means the pitches have to be prepared as normal the day before. So
for the ground staff involved, that means working on Christmas Day. Here's our sports reporter, Jeff Welsh. We'll have the weather forecast coming up in a moment, but in tomorrow's football games, Yeovil Town and Exeter City meet in the West Country derby at Hewish Park.
Well, on to rugby, and the Cornish Pirates are in championship action tonight. They are away to top-of-the-table Bristol.
Next tonight, the charity which has made dreams a reality for a very special group of children who've made the trip to Lapland to meet Father Christmas.
It's been organised by When You Wish Upon a Star, which helps to support children with life-threatening conditions. A warning that Matt Price's report contains some flash photography.
It's so well deserved. Looked like they had a great time.
Yeah, lots of smiles.
Yeah. Next tonight, the dad from Camborne who's turned his car into a Christmas shrine, complete with wrapping paper, tinsel, fairy lights and even a festive wreath, of course.
Yes, Francis Hull usually decorates his house, but why not? Decided this year to do something a little bit different. And we can speak to him now. He's in Camborne. Francis, first up, what on earth prompted you to decorate your car?
Different? What kind of reaction do you get, Francis, when you drive it around? Seen pictures of it, Francis. My question is, what are you going to do after Christmas? Because presumably you stuck that wrapping paper down, didn't you?
Yeah.
Ms. Francis, you've started something now, haven't you? So you've done your house, you've done the car. What are you going to do next?
Yeah. Bit of it. I quite like the tinsel around the steering wheel. What's your favourite part? Stuff. Do you want to do your car like that, John T?
No, I'm sure I'd get far too many toots of the horn if my car was like that. Now, of course, it would not be Christmas without a traditional nativity, which normally packs out any school assembly hall.
For pupils at St Ruman's Infant School in Tavistock, they have a tradition of performing it in front of hundreds of people at the town hall. Nick Smith went to watch it. Cuties. You've got children. Have you been to a nativity
I
this
have
year?
been to my son's nativity, and I'll just quickly tell you, there's always a comedy moment in a nativity. Someone along in the queue sort of sat down, little child, and suddenly just went, "Ow! I've sat on my ball."
Oh dear.
We had to move on quite quickly, but it's good fun. They're always good, aren't they?
We better talk about the weather now because it's Christmas Day on Monday. Would you believe it's here already? Kate's at the Met Office for us. Kate, there is absolutely no chance of a white Christmas, is there?
Yeah, I think the snow at the beginning.
Kate.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you too.
Absolutely. And that is it from the two of us. I will be back, well, next week actually, but the late news is on tonight. That's at 10:30.
In a moment, the ITV News continues with Ranveer Singh, but we'll leave you with the choristers from Truro Cathedral singing Once in Royal David City.